Hello everybody, my name is Kanamanika, and welcome back to the unboxing, where today, I guess today's video is a bit of a promise, an investment, something along those lines. Anyways, I haven't really collected a lot of combiners, in Transformers, at least. This is a Transformers video, by the way. This video is about a Transformer. Um, yeah, combiner teams have never been something I crazily collect, unless I can get them, like, all at once, like I did with the Seacons, like I'm gonna do with a certain other combiner team that'll ship to me very soon. Anyhow, I just find the collection process to be a little annoying. Uh, but that's just probably because I don't have as much of a connection to those other combiners. But today, we're starting a lineup of probably my favorite combiner in all of Transformers. So today, join me as we take a look at the Transformers Generations Age of the Primes Vortex. That's right, I'm collecting the Combaticons. You could tell from the thumbnail and whatnot, but the Combaticons and Bruticus in general is my favorite combiner. I don't know, maybe it's stupid military propaganda still being in my brain, but I mean, there's just a rule of cool about Bruticus. At least in all the images I've had of him. I haven't owned a Bruticus, and I'm really excited to... Okay, I should say this. I got into Transformers after Combiner Wars. I got into Transformers with Siege, the War for Cybertron trilogy. Those figures are really good. And Transformers have been really good since then. But that meant I kind of lost the boat on the combiners, at least for Combiner Wars, which is why I've been pretty excited that they're redoing them, essentially. They did Menasor, which is probably my least favorite, so I skipped it. I might get the aerial bots if I can get them all at once, which I probably will be able to. We'll see. But once they announced they're also doing Combaticons, and the whole Bruticus combiner, I had to get on that, because I just love these little freaks. Anyways, we're starting with the first release, the Deluxe class Combaticon Vortex. And as you can tell, it's in a fairly standard Age of the Primes Deluxe package. It's a little bit more generic than the Legacy boxes, both in shaping and artwork, but I do really like the Vortex artwork we have here. We have a character portrait and the alt mode portrait, which is nice. He's a helicopter. We also have a window into the package. The number of steps, as well as the fact that it combines into Bruticus. It's the first of 5. It's Transformers Age of the Primes Combaticon Vortex. It's from Hasbro. But on the top, it also says it's from Takara Tomy. We get a little bit more of the window, a little hanging tag, in Combaticon Vortex. On this side, we get the sort of combined artwork thingy that Age of the Primes is doing, where it's all the Primes in like a circle. Till all are one. Age of the Primes Deluxe Glass. On this side, you get an image of the promised combiner, which, God, am I excited about this. I'm going to have my first combiner skeleton figure, kind of. Because, like, even though there are combiner skeleton parts in Lio Kaiser, that's not really going to count, because it's really just the legs. I'm really excited to see how this goes. I'm really excited for Bruticus. There's Bruticus. Collect to combine 1 of 5. Combaticon, Vortex, Transformers Age of the Primes. At the bottom, it's legalese and translations and stuff, and like it's made in Vietnam. Who cares? On the back, we get our usual promotional renders. Robot mode, alt mode. It takes 19 steps. We have the Prime logos here. 1 of 5, combiner mode, whatever. More than meets the eye, authentic Transformer. Let's get them unboxed, shall we? This will be a lighter unboxing than some of the other ones we've done recently. But yeah, I like to open these from the top. They're still on a cardboard backing rather than like a bit of plastic, and they still use the paper bags, which is very funny. But yeah, you get your instruction manual, which tells you how to transform it, which I'm not going to really bother with today. I might make a Bruticus video in the future. But yeah, let's start with, I guess, the accessory baggie, which they're still doing, interestingly enough. I don't mind. I'm not too pissy about plastic-free packaging, especially on Transformers, since they have a harder plastic that doesn't warp as easily. So 1 times, yes. Okay, so opening this up, we have 3 guns. 3 guns. We have these 2, which, from what I can tell, are practically identical. They're, like, mirrored images. I think they're for, like, the wrists. Yeah, they're for the wrists, and they also attach to, like, the helicopter mode. They have like little side tabs here, and then they have those. They're somewhat hollow, but they do look nice. They have some nice sculpting in the hollowness that looks nice. And then more prominently, I guess, is this sort of scoped rifle of sorts, which has bar connections on both sides, so it can go on either side of the helicopter, I guess, or I think it's meant to be held in the hand of the figure. It looks nice. The handle's a bit short, but I mean, I'm not too picky. Next up, though, we have to get to one of the more important bits. Or just push it out, yeah. Here we have the helicopter blades, because he's a helicopter, so the helicopter blades. They feel fairly tight, oddly. Oh, that's loose, but these are... Okay. You can adjust the angles on a tighter sprue, but then they're attached to a... It's a bit hard to do without the 3mm port, but that seems a little looser, maybe? I don't know. I should grab my nippers. Yeah, give me a sec. You'll still be on, and I will get quieter because I'm going away. I don't know. No, there we are. Let's get Vortex, though, out of the packaging, and I'm going to attach the helicopter blades to his back anyways. I guess they can also be like an arm shield if you so choose, but I don't know why anyone would choose that, but however, he's kind of in an awkward pose in the package where he's like partially transformed, I guess. So I gotta detach that. Get out from under there. Gotta move the helicopter bits also out of the way. So that the hand looks a little bit more natural. Can we do that? Give me a second. I need this a little closer to me. But yeah, he comes partially transformed out of the box, which I guess is fine enough for storage. I'm not a picky person. There we are. We'll let those sit back and out of the way. Where now we have Vortex. Let's get his accoutrement on. One is the helicopter blades, which will stay on his back. Then on the arms, we peg in the arm blaster thingies, which we do need those. In order to get those in, I'm gonna be a little bit close because small pegs are a little bit tight. Okay, there we go. Let's get all of his accessories in, and then give him his blaster. And now we have Vortex in his robot mode. Yay! Oh. Sorry, I got really excited about that. Yeah, we have Vortex in the robot mode. So, why don't we take a good little look at him? I'm going to 2x zoom so that we can get a better close-up look. Please focus on the robot. Thank you. At the head, it's this very classically chunky 80s robot design that I love. Vortex's head. It's great. It's funny. It's nice and blocky. There's a little bit of paint bleed, like, on the corner there, but I'll live. This is like a $25 Transformer. It's fine. Overall, he feels fairly chunky. He's got a little bit of blue in his head. Oh, that's for the wheel. That's for the wheel. He's got a wheel in his head. He's wheelhead. Wheelhead. Anyhow, as you can see, the little... this attaches to his back, and outside of these big-ass arm chunks, which have a certain charm to them, but are a little bit in the way, his kibble isn't the worst. Like, obviously, there's this big bit, and then the front of the helicopter just kind of being on his, like, calves. But, like, especially from the front, he looks fine, and from the back, he isn't the worst. And, like, I like the little bits of helicopter that you can see throughout his body. The arms... again, very classically robot-y. I love these chunky little shoulders. I'm sorry, he's off camera. I love these chunky little shoulders and these little, like, blaster cannons that are essentially pegged in to his shoulders. I don't think those are on 5mm. They might be, though. I don't think so. I think those are just pegged in. He's got these little shoulder cannon thingies that I also really like. I wish the Decepticon symbol, though, had, like, a white backsplash a little bit. Just to help accentuate the shaping, but it's fine. The gunmetal gray is a little bit of that sort of loopy gunmetal gray plastic, metallic plastic that's not, like, amazing or anything, but it works fine. But the blue, I really like. It's a nice shade of blue, and there isn't a ton of it on the figure. There's some on the shoulders. It's here on the torso. It's here in the penis. It's in the thighs. But it's a nice blue, and it really sets him apart from not being just a slab of gray. The legs also have a little bit of nice paint on them. This little splash of black really does help the legs look nice. And overall, I just really like how this Vortex looks. He just has a good vibe to him as like a small little helicopter Decepticon-y dude. Anyways, on to articulation. He seems somewhat standard outside of a little bit of complaining that I could do. He has a ball joint at the head. It's mostly a swivel, but it can look up and not really down, but like a little bit down. And it can look up and it can have a little bit of tilt, and it's mostly swivel. But that's fairly standard for Transformers range. The shoulders are universals. They're at a somewhat awkward angle, but they do your usual universal rather than being like trigger happy. There's, again, slightly awkward angle, but it's fine. There is a bicep swivel, which is greatly appreciated. Single elbow, as you can see, that gets to 90 degrees. This little shoulder assembly is on, or our underarm assembly is on a double hinge and can be gotten out of the way however you need, though it is a little bit annoying. I'll live with it, especially since front on it doesn't look the worst, oddly enough. They kind of smartly hit it just from like your sight line, which I think is interesting and honestly pretty clever. Obviously it doesn't work from every angle, but and when you start bending it, it starts to look a good bit worse. But from this sort of straight on angle, it looks oddly good. No wrist swivel, which is pretty annoying. I wish it had a wrist swivel, but they've been losing wrist swivels as of recent, which sucks. Despite being a combiner, it does have a waist swivel, which is great, especially since this is a figure that has to tear itself in half when it combines with the arm for Bruticus. That's sort of how these sorts of dealios go. The legs seem also fairly standard. Universal joints. Able to kick outward, able to kick forward all the way, able to kick backward, I think, all the way. Yep. There's a thigh swivel, feels a little loose, but it's fine. Single jointed knee, that gets practically 90. It's probably technically a tad less, but practically 90. No foot swivel, there's forward toe bend due to the nature of the transformation, which is nice for a flyer, but that is a wonderful ankle pivot. You saw me react to it in real time. I really like this ankle pivot, and overall, I do really like this Vortex. He feels nice and solid and good, and I love his aesthetic, and I love the Combaticons. And I'm really excited to get the other four, fucking Onslaught, or whatever. I'm bad with names. I'm ready to get Swindle, I'm ready to get Brawl, I'm ready for Blast Off, I think his name is, the Spaceship One. I'm bad at names, I'm so sorry. But I love these guys, I love their aesthetic, and I am immensely excited for more Combaticons. So I hope you'll join me on that journey. I hope I'll be able to complete that journey. But yeah, let me know what you think of this figure and of the other Combaticons and the other combiners in the comments below. Let me know what combiners have I fucking missed out on, so I might try to pick them up in the future. And until next time, I hope more Transformers videos are able to be made, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye-bye!